did not, you thought it was your
Well, I
son,
didn't-
but
yeah.
you didn't recognize it.
I didn't verify that it was him because,
And I mean, we're talking what, like 7, 8 feet, 10 feet?
what,
maybe
did he
from you?
walk?
From the TV,
No,
from you to the TV?
probably about meeting him, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's a very short distance, so
Right.
for you not to recognize that it was your son and just think it was him, that tells me you probably didn't get a good look at what you were looking at. And-
No, but it was black and solid and blocked the light.
Yeah, which is not
Yeah.
what you're.
I just
probably
made the
look like.
assumption, no, I just made the assumption it was him because I was,
That's what I'm getting
yeah,
at, okay.
yep.
And I think this is the kind of situation where, and how long ago was this?
Oh God, this was
Years?
at least 10 years ago.
Okay, so, would you say that you were more of a believer back then than you are now?
I probably was, but I didn't, like, I didn't think it was paranormal at first. I just thought he went to the bathroom, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then, when he was in his bed, then I started to think, okay, what the fuck was that?
So what I'm getting at is that you had this situation, you were waking up, you were probably not completely alert,
No,
you might have you saw something,
Yeah.
you believe that you saw something.
I absolutely.
You were not sure what it was. You can give a general description, but you obviously misidentified it
Right,
because of what you thought it was.
I made an assumption.
Right, you made an assumption, which is good, I'm glad you admit that, that's great. So, maybe your beliefs at the time filled in the gaps, and over time you convinced yourself that you saw a shadow figure, when in fact you don't know what you saw. If you actually saw anything, because again, you're waking up,
Yeah,
you could have had fleeting, I forget what it's called. There's two terms, waking up, still dreaming, going to sleep, dreaming. But
yeah,
you could have been part of that. But we will never know. This is only speculation because
yeah.
you're the only person that experienced it.
And that's, I guess, kind of my thing is I don't think we can totally discount personal experiences. I know a lot of times people make mistakes, what they thought they experienced, they maybe didn't, but to me, that was just one event that like, man, that really like, I really believe something that we don't understand is out there.
And I'm going to partially agree with you. I think we can't completely discount personal experiences.
Right.
But at the same time, we don't have to accept personal experiences. Personal experiences are there, we can use it as a guide, a starting point to look into something else. But personal experiences are still very subjective, and under the circumstances that you're describing, highly subjective. To the point where it's not evidence.
Oh, I know people that would have already been touched tonight 4 or 5 times.
Oh, yeah.
Would have already heard stuff. Yeah, I mean, everywhere they go is fucking on.
I don't know, but this
Like
demon
crazy.
in this house right now is a real fucking pussy.
We're gonna leave that.
Alright, and this I do absolutely not want to fucking use it. This is very personal to me. I grew up in a house that wasn't built on fucking Indian burial ground, none of that fucking crazy bullshit. In fact, my grandfather helped build the house, he was a bricklayer. And it was a custom house that he had built. And, nothing going on there at the time. We got an uncle who was adopted, and he was schizophrenic. But he got into some really fucked up shit. He wanted to be the greatest guitar player in the world, fucking famous and shit like that. And, he really bought into the whole idea of like Ozzy, being a Satanist and believing that this is, selling your soul to the devil is how Ozzy got fucking gay, whatever. And he started doing some shit in the house. Well, my grandparents, they lived in the house for a couple of years, and they left, right? So my grandfather was off uncle who's schizophrenic stayed in the house. And these are, I didn't hear these stories direct, like from the aunt and uncle. It's just, you know, like family funny, good story, kind of thing. And they started to notice some weird stuff. My Uncle Joe, he's dead now. He was one of those guys that could make an epic fucking story just going to the gas station. I was going down the gas station, like fucking detailed everything. Like you thought this was a fucking movie kind of thing. That's how detailed. And just over the top my uncle was. But he would swear there was something weird going on in the house. And everybody's like, whatever. Now again, I wasn't there. This is only what I heard when it's your family. That my Aunt Carla was calling the uncle Frankie, schizophrenic. Telling him, you know, hey, dinner's done. Come on. She went upstairs to go see what the fuck was going on because he wasn't answering, he wasn't coming. And she said, he was levitating off the ground just a couple of inches. Scared the fuck out of her, and I ended up putting him in the home. Like, it scared the shit out of me. They moved out of the house. They went back to New York. And then some other people lived in the house. Just a little bit. They were renting, basically. And then my dad bought the house. And it was never welcome. Like, never felt it there. Now, as a kid, it could very well have been my imagination. But going there as a kid, when my grandparents lived there, it was like some weird shit going on. And this is gonna sound so fucking stupid, but look, I was literally like in the living room, and everybody's in the kitchen, you know, talking and shit like that. And I see this fucking hand come up through the vent. I'm like, what the fuck? And I kept watching it because it kept happening. And I swear to God, like there's a fucking, give me that Bible. I'll put my hand on that Bible. This shit happened, like for real. It very well could have been my imagination, but again, I'm not kidding. I'm hand on the Bible.
That doesn't mean anything, but.
Yeah, it may not mean anything to you, but it does to me.
But see,
It does to me.
I mean, you have a shit ton of credibility with me, so you telling the story, I absolutely believe it.
Could I have been imagining it? Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
That's
Right.
interesting. So, you're believing it just because he's telling you.
But I'm not done.
Because I don't think he's got a reason to make it up.
And I'm saying that it very well could have been my imagination. I'm like my hand on the Bible, it means something to me that I didn't, like I seen that. But again, it could have been my imagination.
Right.
And it was funny because my grandparents looked over at me and they're like, what are you looking at, Joey? And I didn't want to say anything at first. And they're like, well, what's going on? Why are you looking over there? Why are you looking at the vent? I'm like, because I hand that keeps coming out of the vent. And then they laughed. They said, oh, you got quite the imagination. And I'm like, the fuck I'm seeing this kind of thing. Like, and I very well could. So, you know, I'm going to try to run through the story real quick. So we ended up moving in. It never felt really inviting. And every single one of us was experiencing something, but we never said anything to anyone. Never. I was literally ripped out of my fucking bed one night. I was like 11 or 12 years old. I'm laying in my fucking bed. And my brothers, you know, same room, me and my other two brothers. I'm laying there and just like, I had this horrific fucking feeling. And I open my fucking eyes and here's this fucking big ass fucking shadow figure. I'm like, what the fuck? I got ripped out of my goddamn bed. I slept with my fucking parents' room that night on the floor next to them. I was terrified. But I also had no idea this shit was going on with anybody else. I kept it to myself. A lot of the stuff, I kept it to myself. I would hear, like, whispering in my fucking ear telling me that was fucking useless. Like, just all kinds of shit. And I'm like, it's not in my head. I can hear it in my ear. It wasn't until my stepbrother and my sister, they freaked out because they had seen something, and they said something to my stepmom. So my stepmom started questioning them about it, because she was experiencing shit too. And I had always wondered, because my stepmom, she was building a dollhouse in the basement, a big ass dollhouse. She didn't want to be left alone. She always wanted somebody in the basement with her. And I thought that was fucking weird. Like, why do I have to stay in the fucking basement while you're doing this? Like, I got other things to do, like go out and fucking play or whatever. So, I had mentioned something, and then she started questioning me. Like, are you like seeing things? And at first I thought like I was crazy or something. But that's what I thought at first. And I'm like, well, you know, I'm like hearing things, and like I'm seeing like certain like black fucking shadows and like shit like that. And I said, something ripped me out of the bed, you know, months ago or whatever. They were experiencing things too. My stepmom and dad, and we didn't know, had no fucking clue. Then, and it wasn't all the time, right? Like we could go weeks or months, like nothing as far as I know, for me anyways. And then something would happen, and then it just seemed quiet. My stepmom's sister, half sister, came to the house to stay one night, for a couple of nights. She's having something going on, I don't know what it was. And nobody told her the fucking house was haunted, nobody told her anything was going on. And my parents, they took off. They come back and she's sitting outside. And I'm like, what are you doing outside? It's cold out here. Why are you outside? She's like, I don't know what's going on, but I hear people